So, it's about time we start. We're only like half an hour late, thanks to D&D Beyond.
Thanks, D&D Beyond.
Yeah, but as we do, we always try to start by having someone do a recap. And it's always the person who's most involved or been. And today it's been.
How can you not have Aaron do the recap?
Because Aaron wasn't involved in half of the session yesterday.
Okay,
It's true.
here's the thing.
It's true. There's a good portion of it that Aaron has no idea what happened.
I've tried to have Rob do the recap once.
Yeah,
It was awful.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we've got to remember it's a meme now.
Yeah. Also, here's the thing. Our first session that we actually streamed, I had Rob do the recap, and I decided, yeah, you're never doing this again because you're.
I'm bad at it.
Well,
Yes.
last time.
From then on, Brandon did his own recaps when he does DM.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I
Well.
don't trust any of you fucks.
I'd probably be wise.
Last time on Dungeons and Dragons, we further explored into the second floor of the dungeon of the Mad Mage. We came across a large, wide corridor with 2 ballistas at the end, and oh, actually, before that, I just remembered we were introduced to a brand new companion last session, the wonderful Daenor, a Loxodon cleric who follows a war god. And is very passionate about following that war god. Very, very passionate. Big, thick elephant boy. And as we were fighting these ballistas, poor Igra and Daenor were at the back. And we slowly made our way to the front, just in time to see the dead ballistas. Well, actually, they were animated ballistas. So we got to see some dead animated ballistas. We then moved further into the next room and found that it was a store of alcohol and several kegs of ale. I mean, Lightsey had a little bit to drink, and Dana and Igra got kind of hammered. There were some wonderful hijinks about trying to fit a giant dragonborn and a giant loxodon through a small door, and we burst into what seemed to be the brewing room. After exploring a little bit, we decided, hey, let's have a look in these giant vats. And we discovered and fought a second zombie beholder. Second time for this floor, actually. And we dispatched of it like that.
Yeah, no.
Not even
We
like
were-
that far apart, like a room later.
Yeah, like one room later we were like, nope, we do not like zombie beholders, and I think it was one round of combat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
round of
we
combat.
focus it down.
The zombie
and we
beholder
just-
didn't even get a chance to attack.
And we just beat it into the ground, watched it die, and moved into what we didn't know at the time, but we moved into what would be one of the most stressful corridors that this party has ever entered. We walked into the next corridor, and Aaron immediately fell into a pitfall trap and got stuck. The party then spent, oh, God knows how long, trying to get Aaron out of the hole. Not only did Aaron take a fair amount of damage physically, but his pride was also incredibly damaged. So as we hauled him out, ankle first, and dragged him out of the hole by his broken ankle, and I healed him up, he stormed off in a huff.
Yep.
Refusing to further explore this corridor, much to the rest of the party's disdain, as we decided to further explore that corridor, and thus came the first significant party split of this campaign.
And also one of the worst decisions of this campaign.
And as is one to happen, Lucan was like, shit. And try and convince Aaron to come out of his little baby straw. So Lucan went after Aaron as we explored the secret doors that we found at the end of the corridor, which had more giant piles of ale. Turns out it wasn't all ale. There were a few mimics inside. And we got caught in a battle with mimics when most of us had taken a little bit of damage, had no resources, and had very few spell slots left.
Yes.
Long story short, we ran away. And as we ran away, we blew everything up in that room with a firebolt to an ale barrel and took lots and lots of damage. So we left the party as the party's standing at the end of a trapped corridor, their eyebrows gone, slightly singed, smoking a little bit, very, very angry at a currently missing Aaron who has stormed off into the party's knowledge. We've got no idea where he is. A huge explosion goes off, and just before we cut back to our party, Lucan wasn't there.
But I would just like to point out that just real quick, just like if Blair were to ever hear this story, he's like, he did what? Yeah. It'd probably be in Aaron's best interest for Blair to never hear this story. Otherwise, he would never hear the end of her.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay, so from last thing Aaron that happened to Aaron was Lucan, he's all the way over here. Lucan gave him some words that really made him kind of like contemplate. The problem is, because at the point of time where Lucan said them, kind of thing, it was mid-combat, and combat time moves actually really slow relative to what we're doing, kind of thing. So he didn't have a lot of time to think about it. Then he heard an explosion. So he had some time to think about it. Heard an explosion. It was like, shit, I should probably go and see what happened.
Not just a small explosion, like a large explosion.
It's a large explosion. Yeah. So I'm basically going to start making my way back, kind of thing, and sort of head back towards the actual thing. I'm probably going to be at a run. So I'm going to be moving pretty sharpish.
So the rest of the party will be there. Singed clothing, singed hair. And you just look across the hallway and you see Lucan just eyes wide open.
Oh. You're just gonna kind of like wave looking.
Yeah, Tess just looks at the room, just like Tess just kind of looks at the rest of the group and just like, congratulations, you just found out what it's like to be an engineer.
Dano's literally going to be standing there like patting the edges of his clothes.
Yeah,
like...
I actually think that for the most part, all of my shit is fine because, like I said, is it engineer? I'm probably prepared for this shit.
Lizzie's just going to be like trying to dust the ashes off. Remind me never to visit one of your facilities when we get out of here.
I don't think they let you in the door, sweetie.
Igra right now is like staring at Lucan. He's like covered in soot and like scorch mark, very, very injured right now, and he's just it's taking all of his strength not to lose his shit right now.
Go full sand person.
Lucan will just say, well, I tried to convince Aaron to come back. Said, screw it, they need me more than Aaron needs me, and,
Well, you're right. Well, you were certainly right about that.
Yeah.
I would like to get away from this end of the corridor, and I'd like to try and make sure I get over this trapdoor.
Yeah.
well, what's your strength score again, Ben?
My strength score is 18, so +4.
18. So congratulations. That means from
Wait.
a standstill, you can make it most of the way.
Yeah, which is why I wanted to make an acrobatics check to make sure that I could get all the way across.
Pretty sure it's athletics.
Athletics.
or-
Athletics,
I was-
that's what
I
I
was-
meant.
I
was
I always confuse the two. I'm
They,
not.
yeah.
I was gonna say, if it's athletic, I'm not that good. Or acrobatics, I'm not that good at it. If it's athletics, I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Like, I've got +1 or +6. I know which one I
whereas,
want.
whereas I would just let them go first,
Yeah.
just so I have plenty of. I need a run up, basically.
Yeah.
Not just you, Lizzie needs it too.
Uh,
Well, okay, Ben, you can roll to see if you make it without.
Oh god.
Oh, that's totally fine. That's 21.
Okay, so you managed to jump across just fine, and as you're about to go over the next one, Lucan just says, "Why don't I just jam them closed with my daggers?"
I mean,
Igor just
that'll
kinda,
work.
Igor's not very focused right now. He's in a
Oh.
lot of pain.
Yeah. Lucan just. Tess actually. Actually, speaking of daggers, Lucan, you wouldn't happen to just have a spare one I could hold on to? I think mine's a twisted hunk of metal in that room right now. I'll pay you for it.
Lucan will just sort of laugh. Bear dagger. Yeah, I've got a few of those.
You have a
Started
spare
looking
dagger.
at him, which is like, yeah.
Ow. He's,
So
he's not,
Lucan-
he's not used to handing daggers to people.
Lucan expends 2 daggers to close. Well, 3 daggers to close the trapdoors and just keep them shut. And then he expends a 4th one to give it to Tess.
So he's
Alright.
down 4 daggers.
Yes,
Yeah.
Cool. So
they're all regular daggers.
Yep.
I
got myself
figured.
a dial again.
Actually, no, he gives Tess one of the +1 daggers.
Really?
Ooh, okay. So he's down a +1
Alright.
dagger.
I will make a note of that real quick.
So, can I use a 2nd level spell slot right now, please? Because I would love to cast a 2nd level Cure Wounds right now on myself.
You certainly can.
Because I need it. And that'll be 2d8 plus.
Yeah, you are the person who needs it the most.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain this is actually the first amount of real damage actually taken since she's joined the party.
Yeah, this is the first damage I've taken since I joined the party. Oh,
That's because it was the first combat where
Brandon.
you actually got to do something.
Try D&D Beyond. I got Lizzie back up.
Yeah,
Give me
that's,
just a second then.
I that's 18. I rolled 14.
It's going
then
slow,
plus
but
4.
I'm back into my character sheet.
Amazing.
I mean, it's not great, but I will take being on 21 rather than being on 7 HP.
I'm gonna cast a 3rd level spell,
What spell?
Mass Healing Word.
Oh, I like Danar.
So everyone gets back. Oops. Wait, where did it go? Dice. Where did the dice go? Give me a sec.
And that's basically the entire reason I paid the extra $2 to get a wireless headset.
Everyone can have 7 health back.
Yay.
I will take that gladly.
Cool. That puts me up to 35 of 48.
I'm on
Except for
29.
Aaron, because Aaron's not in that area quite yet.
Nope.
Yep.
But around now would probably be around when he manages to make it back. Because he would have been booking it after.
Yeah, I would have been like literally running that kind of thing.
So you can bring your... There.
Okay, cool. Okay.
I feel like Aaron not getting healed is sort of what he deserves, considering not only is he at the most health of the party.
I didn't need it, really.
But here's the question: does he realize Luke can jam the trapdoors, or does he still try to jump it?
You know, that's actually a fair point.
It's very true. But it wouldn't matter what I rolled because I wouldn't go through them anyway.
No, but the rest of us could laugh at you.
That's true.
Well, with a running jump, Aaron would be able to make it across the trapdoors no problem.
Yeah.
Because you would need a negative strength modifier to not make it.
Yeah. Yeah, the only reason I fell down in the first place is because I just didn't see it and I was walking. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was there. Okay, so, yeah. Yeah, so like I'll literally run in there, like say jump over and be like, "Is everyone all right? I heard an explosion."
Igra is not even going to say anything. He's just going to glare at Aaron.
Cool. Igra, can you roll me an intimidation against Aaron's insight?
Boy, that's crit. And my intimidation is +7, so that's 27.
Oof.
Rob would need... I don't think Rob can possibly beat that.
I
Even with
can't.
the-
My
even with
insight
the
is
crit, I don't think
+4,
it's-
but like it's not gonna be high enough.
That is
Yeah.
27. Like, you don't even need to like see his actual face. The fact he's wearing a dread, like you could feel his eyes
Yeah.
staring into your soul.
I got a 21 on my roll, but like that's which like isn't a bad roll. It's more than 20, but like Jesus.
One Dragonborn is super unimpressed with you right now.
Yeah.
Wonder why.
Give me a sec. I have a healing potion if anyone needs it.
Does he hold it out?
Yeah.
Then Igra silently grabs it from him and uses it.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like he needs it most right now.
Yeah.
What's the healing
Well,
potion? Is it
2d4 plus 2.
Oh,
Igra's only 1 hit point below Daenor, actually.
oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I use it then, I'm gonna look at Daenor and kind of just hand that to him instead.
Yeah.
Because if it comes to it, I have a first level spell slot that I can use to get a little bit more HP back. And he did just heal a bunch of us.
Mhm.
So I would be handing that to Daenor.
Okey-doke. So 2d4 plus 2.
Yep.
I'll take that.
I'd probably pull out my potion of healing and use it as well.
Sick. I get 5 health back.
F it. I'm going to do Cure Wounds on myself. I'll spend one of my 2 remaining spell slots.
We are all pretty banged up right now.
Yeah. That's what happens when you ignite like 80 or so barrels of ale.
Yeah.
Oh, dear me.
Cool. I rolled max on that, so
Nice.
Nice.
should be. Yeah, I am. Okay, so I'm 1 point away from maximum, so I'm good. I'm golden.
Nice. Okay, there we go.
Which means I'm only. That means I only have 1 spell slot left. And I'm not gonna lie, that's probably gonna be used on a turret at some point.
And while you all were busy healing, all of you sort of failed to notice something at the time.
Oh no. What did we fail? No.
I'm waiting for you to notice.
Oh. Somebody. Oh, I thought somebody. Is somebody gone?
No,
Where's
Tess is
Daynor?
just.
Oh, no.
Te-
Tess is just really small.
Tess is spliced into a wall.
Well, no,
where did
where's
Daynor go?
Yeah.
Oh, where did Daynor go?
Where did Daynor go?
Where did Daynor go?
Daynor just sort of. Daynor just
Don't you dare
basically as he's downing the health potion, when he just tilts his head back down to look around, notices that he's in a fairly empty room with no doors, just him, a bathtub, and the Mad Mage in the bathtub.
Oh
Oh
god.
God!
Is he sat like Geralt? Like,
Yeah.
Just sat there.
I'll just be like, and who would you be?
Damn it! Still can't get into D&D.
Hello? I'll just wander over to the bath.
He's ominously just staring.
I'll just wander over to the bath and be like, hello? Sir? Are you in peril?
Just say, I refuse to speak with someone while I'm bathing unless they're with me.
This went from Witcher to
You want me to get in the
fan
bath?
fiction real quick.
Right.
He just summons another tub.
Fine. I'll get in the bath fully clothed.
See, he's already think you're just like he's already learned the lesson it took us like an entire floor to learn. Just go along with it.
Yep. And at this point, he'll just say, well, I suppose introductions are in order. My name is Hallister. I am the proprietor of this here dungeon.
Okay. So why am I in this room?
Because, under normal circumstances, I've been leading adventurers into this dungeon to offer them a wish, but you were already in this dungeon, and you did the impossible, I thought. You got into this dungeon from another plane. Without me.
Is that so?
Well, didn't you wonder how you ended up in this dungeon?
Sort of, but I'm just going along with it now.
So, simply put, I brought you here for one very simple reason.
And that
Can I have your autograph?
Is he holding out pen and paper?
He's holding out a pen and paper. The paper's noticeably soaking wet.
I don't
Can
And
I?
you start to question where he was keeping this.
I always question where they.
He just casts a spell and the paper dries up.
Good old prestidigitation.
Yep.
D&D Beyond just like fucked up on me, so
Yeah.
Oh,
thing that I've got.
Yeah, it screwed the pooch on me again too.
Why would you want my autograph?
Oh, sorry, Mad Mage. I think your phone just went off.
It just bubbles right to the surface.
I'll just sort of say, because I have to find out who you are and how you managed to do such a thing.
And if I don't?
Well, do you want to leave this room?
Is it safer than the other places in the dungeon?
Currently.
Currently. I don't like the sound of that. Fine. Reaches out with trunk. Like.
Daenor Asmodai.
That's me.
And tell me, Daenor, where are you from?
I'm from Alara.
Alara.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of it. Interesting.
Neither has been.
I have.
I probably have in passing, but I don't remember.
And at this point, Hallister will just say, alright, so what I told you was the deal with the group of adventurers you're currently going with is if you manage to get to the end of the dungeon, you get a wish.
Okay.
So, I'm assuming you don't have one already. I'll give you time to think of that. And then he just sort of waves his hand and, oh boy. And you reappear in the bathtub right where Tess is.
Oh God!
Elephant in a bathtub! I'm just gonna be like looking around, just like, hi.
Now you're doing the pose.
But fully clothed.
Yeah, Tess just sort of looks at Dave and is like, Alistair.
Yes, that's correct.
He was gonna turn and say, I was wondering when he would start cropping up again. It felt like it had been too long.
What, 5 minutes? I'm saying he looks like a man who gets bored.
Yeah. You could say that.
So what do you want?
Just to know who I am.
Did you tell him?
I didn't really have a choice.
Yeah, he's good at doing that.
Yeah.
I assumed that was all he was after, was just, you know, your intentions.
No, just who I am.
Interesting. He usually tends to ask people why it is they've come into the dungeon.
No, didn't ask anything like that.
So, Eager's gonna turn and then kind of think for a second and be like, "Why did you come into the dungeon alone at that?"
Didn't really have a choice.
He was kind of thrown in here, chained. At least.
Which
From what
it
we
raises
gather.
another
That's
question.
that's when you met me.
Yeah.
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 That's not necessarily
That's not
when
necessarily when
I
he
went.
got in the dungeon.
So,
True.
and then Eagle thinking again is gonna be like, which raises a question of, we never did question what the hell happened to you. We just kind of accepted it was Halster's fault, but if he didn't know who you were,
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. We just kind of assumed it was Halster just messing with her.
Everyone's now just looking quizzically at Dana. I was like, what are you?
I'm sitting in a
Yes,
bath,
he's just
like,
sitting in a bathtub.
I feel like at this point we've all more or less at least moved past the Aaron problem for now and are just kind of like, wait a minute, there's something we're not considering here.
Yeah, Igor doesn't even give a fuck about Aaron right now. Like, he's like completely ignoring that Aaron exists right now, and it's just like, huh.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna get out of the bath, so there's gonna be like a small like of water. And when I say small, it's probably quite large because I'm quite large.
Protest.
You're
It's a
not
good
on
job the
fire
trap
anymore.
doors are closed, otherwise you'd get washed away into one.
oh, that would be honestly kind of great, but
Oh, dear me.
Huh. So why were you chained up?
I told you, dwarves.
What? From in the dungeon?
Yeah.
And you came into this dungeon alone?
Yes.
How?
As I said, I didn't have a choice.
That's not what I asked. I didn't ask if you had a choice. I asked how you got here.
I was transported here.
Clearly somebody doesn't like you. Or did they not intend to send you here at random?
Not sure where they intended me.
Clearly a powerful enemy if they're able to
Oh,
get you in here.
the kitten just closed Discord.
no, you don't need that. You don't need that.
You need me. Give me attention.
At least it wasn't D&D Beyond.
Oh.
Right, come on, sit down. Or climb up there.
Igra is then gonna again take a moment and realize transported you from where?
My home.
Which is...
A plane called Alara.
It's unlikely, but can I roll to see if I know anything?
I feel like if anyone has even a remote chance of even
Oh,
hearing
come on, kid.
anything of this, it's just me and Lightsy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can still roll if you just want to roll a d20 for fun.
Yep, there you go. That was a 6.
No! Not a
Alarans
clue.
have been to Ravnica, so...
Not a damn clue. That was a nat one.
That would be a modified 20.
Yeah, you would know, Brandon. And considering you know in real life, I don't need to explain it to you, which is great, because I don't know too much about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, Tess.
So, yeah, Tess just looks at you just like, Oh. You're like me. You and Lidsey, you were also brought from a different plane.
Correct.
Hmm.
I'll being eager, knowing that like whenever anything about other planes is mentioned, and eager being clueless about everything from other planes, he's just gonna turn to Tess and kind of shrug and be like,
¿Eh? ¿Qué pasó?
I don't know.
Well, you see, he was taking an Air Canada, but he got transported to a. And this is when Brandon would give me disadvantage if he could.
Yes, well, one. I don't know a terrible lot about Alara myself, but I've seen the name come up in our planar transport research notes. So,
What do you wish to know?
well, I personally want to know a whole hell lot, but I think we can save that for whenever we decide to take a rest later. I feel like we have more pressing concerns to deal with.
Eager's gonna glare at Aaron again.
Oh, D&D Beyond's back.
Hey!
So give myself 5 health. Let's see whether this works. Kitten, please. That's my task.
Come on, D&D Beyond, let me back too.
It's back at the point where it's loading very slowly.
Yep, no, I'm in too, so.
I'm non-responsive still. Let me try restarting the web page.
Right. I'm tucking these away.
I love very rarely ever closing my tab.
You see, I didn't close my tab after I got back in. It
But it's
crapped
Chrome.
out and forced me out.
Chrome, when you're inactive in a tab for a while, will just.
No, like I was
close
adding
it.
my health from my health potion, and D&D
Yeah,
Beyond noped
if
me
you
out of the
update
webpage.
anything
Oh,
on
yeah,
it,
You
it
shouldn't
breaks.
update your health on it. You shouldn't
Might
update your
update.
stats on D&D Beyond, just in case. Anyway,
Yeah.
Anyway, we have more pressing matters, Tess says, and then Eager glares at Aaron.
Dick. This is me. I am now kitty
There you
cat.
go.
yep. Aww.
I'm sorry for leaving you. I know I was in the wrong.
Yeah, okay. So you said the thing that means Tess is at least gonna let this instant slide. That you're like you were straight up wrong.
Like you can tell, like this is like difficult for him to admit, but he's sincere. like
I was
he
wrong.
he
I
means
was-
what he says, but it's really hard for him to say it. Kind of thing. I hope that you all made it out without too much suffering, I guess.
When
Well-
when he says that, Eager's glaring even harder when he said that. He was like on board Kenna at first, and as soon as he says that, he goes back to glaring.
I don't know what more I can say. I know that I can't get through this dungeon without you guys. And I have a city with a population of thousands riding on me doing this. I can't just lash out like that. I know I need to get better control of this. I only hope that you'll forgive me.
Well, I wasn't sure how I was gonna. You admitting and knowing you were wrong is at least maybe wonders to me. So I'm willing to let it slide this once.
Igra is going to take off his dread helm and have it under his arm,
Oh god.
and he is going to walk right up to Aaron, so that he is like standing over him,
Yeah.
and he's going to hold out his hand and say, "Sky Splitter."
I hand it back over to him.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's fair. I feel like
Yep.
that's fair.
He takes Sky Splitter and he goes back and he hands it to Tess, and he turns back to Aaron and says, "The only reason I'm not walking away right now is because we need you as much as we need everyone else." And then he's putting his helmet back on and he's saying nothing else.
And from this point on, tensions will always be high between these two characters.
Cool.
I feel like your two characters just need to look at Ollie's camera.
Right?
Yeah. Cool.
Can we just have a new Tabaxi in the party?
I have a pet tabaxi.
Cool. So I'm gonna also add a javelin of lightning called Sky Splitter to inventory.
Yeah, my hand is now super clean or really dirty, depending on which one.
Depending on how you look at it.
From the kitten's perspective, it's spotless.
Yeah.
She'll start licking it in a bit as well. Not quite.
Also, man, thank God neither the dagger or the javelin requires just to be like, shit.
Right?
Oh, dear me. Okay.
So then, shall we clear out of this? Tess looks back at the the walls that are obviously like blackened by the explosion. Just like, should we just get out of here?
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Eagle's very for this.
Okay. Let's move out.
Onwards!
I want to point out this whole time Tess never mentioned that she left the bathtub. So I imagine Tess is just standing there, head barely above the water.
Just had to like climb out.
There would have been a lot of sloshing when I got out.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's.
Wow, we have a long way to walk back, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, we have another direction we can go. Behind
Yeah.
the ballista room.
Yeah, we still haven't gone south from that that long hallway.
Yeah.
No.
Imagine how different our lives would be had we chosen that direction instead.
Wow. Imagine how different our lives would be if Igra and Daenor hadn't had a drink and hadn't forced their way into the other room.
So this is-
We would
this
be in a
is much
very
their
different
fault.
situation.
Yeah.
We would.
So then, shall we just let Rob pilot Aaron over?
I shall
Yep.
lead on. I mean, assuming you guys let me keep leading.
Will?
I mean-
he's gonna let you. here's the thing. Tess is gonna let you do it, so that if something happens, you're the first person who gets hit.
Yeah,
That's fair
and
enough.
Igor like goes to kind of plow on, and then realizes Tess's reasoning, and it's like, okay, and he's
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, like I said, she's letting it slide. Doesn't mean she's forgiven you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, while we're all walking, I'm going to be talking to you all about the glory of Tempest.
Oh boy.
Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Tess is firmly, firmly nonpartisan
Alistair.
in religion.
Hi, Alistair.
Hi.
How are you doing this fine day? Why are you in the drinking room?
What's he got there? What can I see right now?
Is that a table?
That looks like a table.
Why'd you leave your ale upon the table?
Wanted to.
So, you're looking at a counter that looks like it's a storefront?
Mm.
Oh.
Okay. All right. There's no way past the counter, right? Like it's clearly blocking the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Huh.
I'll literally approach and be like, what are you doing this time, Halsa?
I'm selling soup. You want soup?
Soup. What kind of soup?
Well, let's see here. We've got dagger soup. We've got sword soup. Ooh, we have healing potion soup. That's my favorite.
Healing potion
one
soup.
sounds
That's a
good.
pretty good one, honestly. I like that one.
Oh, I forgot. We just sold out of that one.
Oh, that's
Jake.
that's unfortunate.
We have poison potion soup though.
Poison potion soup.
Hard.
Well,
Hard. Yeah, Tess is just like behind Aaron, just like hard pass on the poison soup.
Well, it's your call, but it's delicious if I must say so myself.
I just
Did you
kind
try
of
some?
I kind of glance at Luke and be like, "You got any bowls you want to fill up?"
Lucan will just say, "How much for the dagger soup?" Well, for you... Well, we're actually throwing a special promotion for the dagger soup. And it's quite simple. It's free so long as you catch it.
Oof.
Ooh.
Huh?
He's got gloves and missile snaring. He can do that.
Five daggers suddenly impale Lucan. Lucan's dead.
Lucan will just sort of look at him back up to the back of the wall and be like, "You sure you can throw that far?" Also, he'll tell Aaron to move out of the way.
Obviously.
And let's see. Lucan has to roll to avoid a whole 2 damage from that first death, so he can catch it.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty certain he'll be able to do that because you add his dex modifier to it, which is plus
Yeah.
5.
Yeah. I know. It's almost as if he literally can't not catch these because Hallister's dex modifier is not the best. Because he's an old man.
He's an old man.
Yes. So Hallister just throws 3 daggers at him in quick succession.
Yep.
And Lucan manages to catch them all. And then Hallister just tosses a bowl of hot water at him.
Oh god.
The soup part of it.
The soup part, yeah. Dex save to dodge out the way, I guess? Would he do that?
Yep.
Of which he rolled a 17 on the die plus 8 for a dex save. So he's pretty good at dodging things.
So he manages to dodge it and catch the bull.
Oh wow.
And Hallister will just say, well done. Any other takers?
What kind of soups did he have?
Sword soup, dagger soup, poison soup, health
Poison
potion
soup.
soup, but he's out of health.
He's out of health potion soup. How many daggers did
I'm
Lucan
gonna-
just get?
He also has Maryland crab soup.
Oh. Oh.
That's Maryland.
Yeah, what's that? Sounds good though.
I'm gonna ask Alistair how much for the poison soup.
The poison soup doesn't cost much. The only cost is you have to taste a sip before you can take it.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember, because if it's what I think it is, I'm remembering how exactly this would work. I'm fairly certain it's just con save versus
I'm sure it would be con save because it's poison.
Yeah, it's being
But again,
ingested.
this is Mad Mage. Nothing works as it should.
However,
Ah, fuck it. Let's try it. I want some poison soup.
Okay, so you take a sip and you heal 2 hit points.
I heal 2 hit points.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hallister notices that you're not dying and he just says, wait, that means I sold the poison soup to this. Oh no.
oh no. Uh-oh.
Whoops.
We're
Are
gonna
we-
find
are we
like
gonna
a pile of adventurers.
Yeah, no, just dead for the poison soup.
Oh no.
I love this fucking campaign so much.
How many daggers did Lucan just get so I can update?
3.
3.
3.
He just gained 3 back,
he got
so
back
he got
his
back the
regular
3
daggers.
that he used, yeah.
Does that mean that I have poison soup?
Once Hallister realizes it's not poison soup, he just takes the bowl and throws it at the wall. He's just like, you all don't need that.
At least you gained 2 health hit points back.
Yeah, I got 2 extra hit points.
Is anyone gonna lick the floor?
I don't think we're willing to sink to that level.
Yeah, that sounds like a con save waiting to happen.
Yeah. To be
I'm
fair though,
gonna
this
go
is
for
the
that.
room where
That's
all the alcohol was, so...
Yeah,
It
you know,
is.
not recognizing it, I'm gonna point at the Maryland crab and be like, and what is that?
Maryland crab soup. I got the recipe from a strange book that just sort of appeared in the city of Waterdeep one day.
What's in it? What is Maryland?
No clue.
Huh. Can I have it?
Well, the Maryland crab soup. As you've noticed, I have a very strange way of getting payments for this, but a man has to make a living after all. So the Maryland crab soup is 10 gold.
How much gold? Oh, I mean, I have 30.
That's an expensive soup.
It is an
Like,
expensive
worth
soup,
it,
but it's
though.
also
You know what?
something you wouldn't find on this fucking plane, so like...
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, Tess would, Tess probably, the moment, she hears, 1, the soup is from another plane, and 2, it's probably just she immediately just takes out 10 gold, slaps on the table, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take your
I'll
entire
buy a bowl,
stock.
too.
Okay. So Hallister gets out. Is it 2 of you buying bowls? Or has Ben buying one as well?
Fuck it, I'll buy a bowl as well.
So Hallister just gets out 3 bowls and starts ladling some into each bowl. And he's like, you know, I never thought this would actually sell.
You guessed wrong.
I
Buckaroo.
just, yeah. Tessa just takes out a spoon and just like, I'm just more curious about what this cooking from another plane tastes like.
I think Izzy and Tess have the same curiosity on that one.
Curiosity killed the lizard folk, as they say.
No, it's curiosity horribly maimed the isn't engineer. Get it right.
I want to try a little bit of the soup.
Down
Yep.
it.
So, for those of you who don't know what Maryland crab soup is, it's a soup with crabs, tomatoes, onion, and of course, Old Bay.
What's a tomato?
I know, right?
Now, you'll find the Old Bay was particularly difficult for Hallister to get his hands on, which would be why it costs 10 gold.
Oh, big seasoning. Oh my god.
Okay.
What happens when I eat it? Does anything happen?
You get a nourishing meal.
Yes.
Nice.
You feel full.
I go up to him and say, so what's the
Yeah.
catch with the sword soup then?
Well, the sword soup is quite simple. You just have to stab me with it.
I'll gladly do that.
What could possibly go wrong?
Wrong. By the way, I'll say that much for flavor reasons. Once I'm finished with my fill of the soup, I'm actually gonna take out a small little flask and actually like pour the rest of it in there and stop it so that Tess can examine it later.
Yep.
The things I do in D&D.
Yeah.
You got the moment.
So, you're trying to stab Hallister with
Yep.
the sword.
Yep.
Roll your attack roll.
This is gonna be interesting.
I rolled a 13 on the die. So... what sword is it? What-
Just a regular sword.
Just a short sword?
Yeah.
Okay. So it would do my dex modifier, which is +4. So it would be 17 to hit.
Congratulations. He casts shield.
He pulled my trick.
Got him.
And he just says, well, you failed. And luckily for me, you didn't read the underlying text that now I get to stab you with it.
Haha.
Whoops.
Okay.
One shot KO.
Cool. I now have on my character sheet a vial of Maryland soup.
Okay.
And Hallister at that point just sort of takes the sword from you, and he can barely hold it.
Yeah.
Crit. You die.
It was
Correct.
like, he's a wizard. He's not exactly spec'd for using sword. He's also an old man.
Yep.
This is where we find out he's an expert with enchant.
Where is that spell? I lost it.
What's the one type of wizard that actually uses normal weaponry?
Blade Singer?
Yeah. This is where we find out Hallister's secretly a blade singer.
That'd be impressive considering he's not an elf.
Yeah.
Well, how do we know? This could just be a form that he's taken.
Who knows?
So, as Hallister goes to stab you with the sword, you notice him uttering some sort of enchantment, and then you notice that the area you're standing in suddenly is filled with spinning daggers.
That's not hitting me with a sword. That's hitting me with daggers.
Oh, hi, cloud of daggers.
Oh. Oh.
And luckily for you, I'm just choosing to do the minimum. That so you take damage, and then you probably step back.
So, like, I have no way of avoiding or dodging this. I just take damage.
Nope. Yep.
That's how that one works. Okay, cool.
Yep.
How much damage?
4.
4.
Aw.
And then, like, before you even really get a chance to step back, Hallister dispels it,
Yep.
and he's like, bet you couldn't imagine a man my age getting a stab on you like that.
You didn't stab me with the sword.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't say he had to. He just said he got to stab you back, not
No,
necessarily.
he said he got to stab me back with it. He specifically specified the sword. He did not
And-
stab me with the sword.
At that point, Hallister just drops the sword, starts floating into the air, and has fire in both his hands. You were saying?
It's cool, man. It's cool. We got friends here.
Yeah, I know. You totally got me.
Listen, I'm just saying, you used a spell to avoid me hitting you, and used a different spell to hit me. That wasn't in the
Better
agreement.
watch before he animate objects and hits you with the sword.
Here comes the bear poking.
This
And this is when. And this
this
is
is
when
where
Tess
somebody-
is
somebody
slowly
else is-
moving to the back.
Yeah.
This is where somebody else is like, maybe we should do some. Like, no, let's just see what happened.
No. He got himself into this pitfall trap. He can get himself out.
And to think, after all of that,
He just at that he just sort of responds, "Careful, boy. You don't seem to understand who you're messing with."
Hallister the Mad Mage, I believe, is what you go by, right?
Oh, he's being snarky.
You think I'm just some mere mortal?
and this is when I firmly go into the other room.
Right there with you. Nope. Like peeking through the doorway, watching.
Listen, sir.
Here's what's going through Tessa's head. She's seen what happens when people question Niv Mizzet her mind, and she's getting oddly familiar flashbacks of what's about to happen.
Like, and I'm sure Lizzie's heard the stories.
Ego's like, get him, Aaron.
I'm literally just gonna raise the shield in front of. Blast zone.
I think someone's about to die on this fucking hill alone.
Yeah.
Looks like we're in the splash zone.
Ego's ready to cast Shield of Faith on himself.
Listen, I'm not gonna hold it against you this time, but I expect you to stick to it in the future whenever we make these sort of deals.
Smite me, oh mighty smite.
Yeah, I think in the other room, me and Tess and Liz are just looking at us just like, are you fucking hearing this right now?
Well, he's gonna die.
I think Zach is now actively looking through the spells.
I'm waiting for the.
How many D10s do I need?
Hang on. So, let's face
I didn't
it.
even
You're
know
the
you
one
could do
that
a
asked
D20
me to
for
come
damage.
into this dungeon to test it. I'm sure you wouldn't do anything to get rid of me if you specifically wanted me in here. Surely that would devalidate everything that you've been trying to achieve.
Please, I don't need to get rid of you to punish you.
There go Aaron's legs.
You don't need those. He doesn't need his legs. They
I'll
don't need
take a leg and
those.
an arm.
Oh no. Like, Chris, no.
It worries me when Zach thinks this much.
It worries me when Zach goes quiet.
Yeah,
Hell hath no fury.
like the
Tell
Mad Mage.
me, you young boy, why I shouldn't just kill you. After all, a zombie can test my dungeon well enough.
You say that, but you specifically came to approach me to bring people in to test it. It's a little bit different from a zombie trying to test it.
And brought people in. You did, so you're useless now.
I'm literally just imagining whoever's left in the room with us. Like Aaron's on one side, the Mad Mage is on the other, and we're literally like,
Like, and then like Tess and I are watching from around the corner in the other room.
Yeah, no, Tessa this one is just like head and hands. Oh my god. Yeah, no. In Tessa's mind, just like, yeah, no, just like, and congratulations, you brought the people in. Your point
Your job is
has
done.
more. At this
Yeah.
point, he no longer cares if you actually get to the end.
Igra is debating leaving the room, but the idea of watching Aaron get his ass kicked right now is very.
Hallister just says, listen, I will give you one last warning. And he points a finger at himself. And you just see his skin wither and just... It's one of the most horrifying things you've ever seen. Looks like he's aging 1,000 years. And he turns himself into a zombie. And then you see Hallister pop back up next to himself.
Oh.
And he'll just sort of respond, that wasn't a simulacrum.
I literally post the gif of the guy just blinking, just like... Because that's Aaron right now. He's like...
Like, now Lizzie's getting Gerard vibes.
I was just like, yeah, no, I think like,
Like-
Tessa's just like, oh no.
Like, we're just in the other room,
Okay.
like, exchanging looks like, oh god, what did we get ourselves into?
I mean, Igra is now at this point baffled by what he just saw, and I'd like to use one of my divine senses to see
Yes.
if this is real or not.
It
Which-
is, in fact, a real zombie.
Oh! Yay!
He just turned his own body into a zombie and then came back with another body.
Igra
Seems
doesn't
legit.
like that.
Getting hard Gerard vibes.
Listen, I don't wish to fight you right now. At the end of the day, what happened happened.
And are you going to apologize?
Would you like to specify exactly what you want me to apologize for so I can make sure I put it right for you?
Accusing me of cheating.
I apologize for accusing you of cheating.
Okay, and he just sort of waves his hand and says another incantation. Apology accepted. And as a gift for you, as a olive branch, have this Hallister zombie.
Oh my god.
Thank you. I will take
He
it
is now
graciously.
under your control.
Huh?
Huh?
Wait, are we making
Hold
it
up.
so Rob has like more and more NP?
Why do I have all the
That's his
NPCs?
Oh my god. Can I make a quick perception check on both Halisters to see if either of them are missing a hand?
Yes.
That's 15.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Who had the Hallister hand?
Igra is now desperately trying to think of any way that somebody could have multiple bodies, because he's made it obvious that he doesn't. These aren't, one, they aren't simulacrums, and two, he has more than one of these bodies that are just him.
Again, who had his hand?
Oh, Hallister will
You
see
still
your
have this.
confusion, and Hallister will say, "Oh, it's quite simple, really. Have you heard of a Lich's phylactery?"
Has Igra?
Yeah, I feel like
Nope.
we would have heard it since we're basically just listening. But
Yeah.
I probably have no clue.
Nope, I got
Is
a
it-
2 on my die. Not a
Is
clue.
it religion?
Lich's phylactery would be Arcana.
Oh,
Arcana, oh, okay.
Oh,
Which is-
if it's Arcana.
I thought you said religion, religious, phylactery.
Yeah, that's a
I got
13.
19.
Yeah, I would also have a 19. I rolled like a 12, but mine.
Okay, yeah, with a 19, you would know that a Lich has a phylactery, which is a thing that binds them to this plane and makes it so when they die, they come back. Usually for a Lich, it takes a few days, however.
Oh, that's concerning as all fuck.
Yeah.
Oh.
So my response.
And Hallister will just say, "Well, a few of you seem to know what a phylactery is. And let's just say you're sort of in mine."
The whole dungeon is his phylactery.
Oh.
Oh,
God.
that is
Bravo.
pants wetting.
Yeah.
That's
Bravo.
concerning.
Yes, it is.
Aaron's sat here not understanding anything about what's going.
Yeah, no.
He wrote a 5
no,
on his check. Like he didn't know.
Nope. Tests will explain later.
It's sad that Lizzie doesn't know, because I'm pretty sure Gerard's a Lich.
Yeah, but I think Liches on
Ravnica
Ravnica
work
work
differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hallister will just sort of be like, "Ah, I love it when people see how hopeless it is to fight me."
I'm not saying anything.
You found one of the few D&D characters who can't be killed.
Strong.
Literally can't. It's impossible.
I mean, unless we get him out of the dungeon?
because
no,
he'll just respawn
literally,
in the dungeon.
literally can't.
Oh my god.
Like, because normally to kill a Lich, you'd have to destroy the phylactery, which means we'd have to destroy the entire
Destroy
fucking
the
plane.
entire dungeon.
Tired. Which we just have to just, get rid of the undermount.
Completely just remove it.
And Hallister will look at Igra and say, "I remember your friend,
Oh no!
Oh.
Here we go again.
Oh, maybe it won't be Aaron that dies on this hill after all.
Maybe not.
your friend Barty? Was it Barty?"
Igra is... Igra's just gonna look at Alistair and say, "You know his name was Martyr."
Martivir, that's the name. I remember he was rather shocked when I told him that I've defeated Bahamut, but it's really rather easy when you can send a countless number of bodies at him.
Igra is like, not happy about that. Igra's just Like, that's a lot to process for Igra. Now, his god's been called into question again. Hooray! Wow, time for another one of my characters to have an existential crisis.
For the exact same reason as the last one.
Yeah, and he'll just look at you and be like, don't worry, I obviously didn't kill him, otherwise you'd have no powers.
So, the, dear God. Igra's gonna look at Halster and say, why?
It was Tuesday, there's not many adventurers on Tuesdays coming into the dungeon.
As good a reason as any, I suppose.
Yeah.
But why Bahamut? What did he do to you?
Nothing.
You're fickle. You're like a child. You take things, you play with them, and then you throw them away again. With no reason.
Yes.
He's not denying it.
What are you supposed to say to that?
Oh, Igra's just angry and venting right now. Oh God. You're so... Oh my God.
You about to see something stupid?
I wanna
No,
point
Igra's
out,
just...
it's
Igra's
almost,
not...
it's almost as if none of this was planned, but D&D Beyond went down and I was like, great, I have to plan a bunch of non-combat stuff.
Well, it's back up
mean,
now, so like,
I mean,
It's not,
fine.
mine just went down again.
Oh, did it?
Honestly, I'm cool with it just, being because there's just a lot of shit to resolve.
Yeah.
So, Igra is going to turn to Halster and say, how did he take it? Martivir, how did he take that news?
Well, the part I didn't tell him was Bahamut was equally interested in fighting me.
Huh? Igra is visibly taken back by this. In fact, he even takes off his helmet and is like, excuse me, what?
Yeah, I was trying to find out if it was possible for anything to kill me, and I figured a god's the best chance there.
But why did he want to fight you?
Do you think he would like me?
Because he's a literal
That's a
abomination
fair
against.
point.
He's a literal abomination against.
That's a very fair point.
His very existence is a sin. There are many reasons why gods might have a bone to pick with Alistair.
Yeah. Or the leading multiple of their paladins and clerics to their deaths over centuries would be another one.
Mm-hmm.
Yup.
Then he'll turn to Halster and say, then, if when you fought Bahamut, you truly were worried that, well, you truly didn't know what could and could not kill you, why didn't you finish him?
Why would I? That's no fun. How am I supposed to fight him again?
It's like the weekly poker game.
They just meet up every Tuesday to
Yeah,
spar.
every Tuesday.
It's Tuesday Fight Club.
I'm just more thinking, just like, see, me as the meta person, just thinking, just like, well, what would happen if you basically just flat out removed a major god of good like Bahamut from the Celestial Spheres?
Oh, and it's entirely possible. You can kill a god in D&D.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
God.
but it usually has literal world-changing repercussions.
In this case, it would probably be Tiamat takes over everything and rules the
Yeah,
plane.
absolutely.
Yeah, Igra hates Tiamat. So,
Tiamat is
Igra,
fucking terrifying.
Igra would just say, why not Tiamat?
Oh, please, you think I didn't fight Tiamat as well? I had to fight them both at once, otherwise they would be fighting each other when they were weak.
When you say he's fighting both at once, Igra is again like, holy fuck. He's like, Igra.
No, naturally, I didn't fight them in the same place. I just had multiple bodies at different locations.
Igra's realizing how very outstanding he is. He's gonna say, and what if one of these gods were removed permanently?
The whole world as we know it would be completely different.
Like, bad different?
Depends on your definition of bad. As a follower of Bahamut, you would probably enjoy Tiamat being gone for the first few days.
First few days.
Ah, you don't think that Bahamut would go a little mad with power having no one to stop him?
This is where Igra's incredibly torn between his faith in Bahamut and all that is good.
I just turn to him
one reason.
after he says that, and I say, like you.
Exactly!
God damn it.
But I, for the most part, confine myself to this dungeon. Because as much fun as it would be to destroy this plane, I think it's not a great idea.
It's where he keeps his stuff.
I am. Where? Oh my god, Igra is. Oh my god, 1 second.
Oh no.
God. Who's in
Potentially? Oh no. But for the time...
Oh, somebody tells him.
Ben, are you gonna go through another character?
No.
that? Probably.
Come on, man. Martivir's barely in the ground.
Well, Ben, I can tell you, I'm not sure if that's a good idea or a bad idea. It is an idea.
It's probably really bad.
And in theory, you could do it.
My reasoning is Igra, his main reason for following Bahamut was he was raised in that church and he was taught to fight by that church. So really his morals were raised in the ideals of Bahamut purely because that's where he ended up. If somebody had raised him in a different church, he would... So now that he's older and knows of the existence of other gods and etc., he's like, well, I love fighting things. Battle is where I belong.
Boy,
What
do
if
I have
wanted
the
more?
god for you.
And he's like, well, surely
And to be-
you would want a powerful
And to
figure
be honest,
follow.
you wouldn't even have to technically change your oath because a conquest paladin would go swimmingly on the
Oh, bold
in
of
the
you
war
to
domain.
bold of you to assume I'm talking about Tempest.
Oh.
I'm terrified.
I'm not. I'm not talking about Tempest at all.
I mean, I can talk to you about Tempest if you want.
I'm
I don't
waiting
think
for Brandon
anybody wants to hear
realize.
about Tempest anymore.
Tempest is
I
great.
realize what he's doing, and I'm terrified.
Yeah, so do I.
I thought Aaron was in the clear. He's not if Ben goes ahead and does something like this.
Well, Ben, ball's on your turf.
Well,
Balls in your court.
I am going to. Right, DM. One more question.
Oh no.
Oh god. Oh god.
What is about to happen in this session?
Someone's
The
going to lose a character.
unexpected.
We
Someone's
can't.
probably going to lose a
We
character.
can't have one session go by without something stupid happening.
No, we can't.
Ben.
Ben, why is it always you?
I mean, last session it was you, Rob, so...
It was the combination of me and Ben, really.
Oh, there it goes by.
Thing is, it wasn't something stupid happening in the last session. It was something whiny and bitchy happening in the last session.
Yeah, so Ben, I can tell you, in this case, that would depend on how you word things.
That's why I'm gonna DM you something first.
Ooh, everybody. You know what? I'm gonna use this opportunity to take a quick bathroom break. So.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm literally trapped. Look.
Yes, you are.
Aw.
You are pinned down.
This is something I never expected.
I like to keep
God.
people on their toes.
Ben and Brandon are now. Ben and Zach are now just like furiously figuring out how they can make this work. If they can make this work.
No, it can work. Ben's trying to figure out if it will get him killed or not.
The
Answer is probably yes.
yeah.
You remember that bit in Lord of the Rings where Gimli goes, small chance of success, certainty of death? What are we waiting for?
That's Ben right now.
yeah.
Yeah. So, Ben, I can't tell you if that would work or not until you actually try it.
You have to try it.
Okay.
Should we wait till Brandon
Yeah,
gets back?
I'm gonna wait till
Yeah.
Brandon's back, which also gives me a little minute to think about how I want to definitely word this when I do see it.
Why do I have a feeling you're trying to, like, switch to a warlock under Patron of Alistair or something like that?
Well, you'll find out. You'll find out what I'm going to do.
Yo, quick plug. Pringles Rice Infusions Peking Duck flavor. Fucking delicious.
Yep,
Hashtag
fucking
not spawn.
amazing.
Hashtag not spawn, but they're really freaking good. This is the first time I've had them, and I'm like,
I still don't know if those are a thing in the U.S. because I looked at the Pringles at all the gas stations I stopped at on the way to my family, but I didn't see any. But also
Yeah.
the gas stations.
They're real good.
Would recommend. They are very good. Rob actually has good taste this time.
All right. So then.
So, welcome back, Brandon. You're about to hear Eager speak.
Oh god.
We waited
Eager
for
is
you to
going
get
to
back.
turn to Hallister. And he is going to place his helmet on the ground next to him. And he's going to look directly at Hallister and say, my whole life, I have been raised in battle. The only thing that I know or care about at any point in my entire life has been winning the next battle and protecting people that I saw fit to be protected. That takes power. I was raised under the Church of Bahamut and taught that that's all the power I needed. What if that's not the case? What if something came along and showed me that, in fact, there are higher powers than even Bahamut? Higher powers that can prove to me that there is more fighting to be done. And he's gonna turn and say, what if I put my faith in your power, Alistair? What if you became... What if I put my faith in your power and you granted me the ability to fight, the ability to win battles, and the ability to keep your entertainment ever overflowing?
I literally turned to him and like, what on earth are you talking about?
And then I'll say we need power and we need to great strength to even have a chance at beating your dungeon. what better person to have sponsor me, and to what better person to put my faith in their power than the creator of the dungeon themselves.
Um,
You've already shown us that you are, if not all-powerful, as close as a being can get. Why would I put my faith in anyone else?
I've never
Why-
tried being God before.
Wait. Listen to the clause.
What? Like, Aaron is literally, like, speechless. Like, you can relate to his story, right? Like, because he just kind of spilt his heart out, like, about his history and everything. And Aaron can relate to that. Like, he's been, like, felt like he's been trapped and pushed into things kind of thing. But the difference is that Aaron rebelled against that and didn't go along with it. Whereas Igra did go along with it until he couldn't anymore, kind of thing. So it's like he can understand where he's coming from, but he does not agree with doing something with the Mad Mage is ever a good idea.
Igra is standing. He's got his ideas. He's got his plans. He knows his intent. Igra alone knows his intentions.
Hallister would just sort of say, "Oh, I suppose I could become a god. All it would take is one spell."
You have a spell that would turn you into a god?
Wish.
All right, Nicole.
Yeah, it's
Wish.
Lish does many things.
I'm just kind of like awestruck that this is even happening. I understand that Hallister is powerful. And I understand that you want to break free from Bahamut, and felt like you've
Hallister just waves his hand, cast an incantation, and everyone's mouth is sealed shut except for Igra is.
And before, like, as he does that, I'm going to turn to Aaron and say, "You stand no right to judge any decision I may make. You stand no right." And then I'm just gonna kind of wave my hand as if to say "fuck off," and then I'm gonna look back to Hallister. And
Hallister just says, "Oh, I've made it so this conversation's only between us now. I mean, they can hear us, but they can't really say anything. I'll undo it when it's done, don't worry."
I'm literally just glaring at Hallister.
Hallister just says, "So, you claim this would be entertaining for me. How so?"
Well, for a few reasons to say. One, creating yourself as a god. Followers are always nice. And even if not nice, having a following, having that, whether it's borderline cultist or whether it's like a regular religion, at least it gives you a stake and gives you entertaining things to watch as they battle against other religions. Granting me abilities through you and having me pray to your faith would, well, what better place to do it than A, in your own dungeon? One minute, let me think. I need to word this carefully. What better place to do it than A, in your own dungeon? And even once this, if we manage to make it out of this dungeon, not only will you have an incredibly powerful follower, you will have a vessel in which, an extra vessel in which to provide the chaos that you so everlastingly seek in the rest of the world. All I crave is for, well, he'll say, "I took an oath of conquest, and I stand by that oath."
I can agree to this on one condition. Should you fail to make it through the dungeon, then you will be stuck guarding its halls from intruders forever.
I once
will-
again, I glare at the pair of them now. I'm like, for God's sake. You're an idiot.
I take my shield with the etching of Bahamut on it, and I score through with my mace, the sharp bit of my mace. I score
shit.
through the etching of Bahamut's symbol, and I take my holy symbol, like one of my holy symbols is just like across the other one that represents Bahamut, and I toss it to the side.
And Hallister, at this point, would just say,
And
well,
this is
you're decided.
and this is the part where Bahamut smites you, like literally smites you.
Yeah.
Like, right here, right now.
Please, you
Smite
think
me.
Bahamut thinks that he could get away with that? Bahamut. All of the gods have learned to fear Hallister. At this point, Hallister casts a spell, and he puts on your shield a carving of his face. He takes two eyes off his cloak and puts them on to your shield, and he says, "That way I can always watch over you."
I'm gonna grip the shield back and just kind of like take a knee and put the shield to the ground and then stand up again.
And he says, "Now then, before this is complete, I suppose I should actually ascend to godhood and all that."
Casually, you know.
Oh, no, unseal your all's mouths first, so I can hear your all's constant bickering while I do it. And he unseals your mouths.
What the fuck are you doing?
My intentions are of no interest to you, elf.
And Hallister just says, "You know, I really don't know how this will go. I'm gonna go to my pocket in case things blow up." And he just disappears for a little bit.
Well,
I could run you through with a sword right now. Then you'd get exactly what you wanted. You would just serve Hallister for eternity in this freaking dungeon.
you can try and run me through. I don't think it would work out well.
And Hallister at this point comes back. Actually, that was a lot faster than expected. I'm expecting it to be very grandiose, you know, like flames erupting from my body or something, but no. I just sort of cast the incantation and now I'm a god, I guess?
Oh yeah, that's not gonna have major repercussions. On
What did you do? Oh yeah, I made Hallister a god.
Ugh, well.
I have, like, Aaron is, like, absolutely livid right now. Because he's like,
Oh, hey, Aaron. Now he can stab you with the sword properly.
he's like, I like, can't stand Hallister, right? Like, because of everything that he's done, kind of thing. The last thing that I would do is want to support him. Like, likewise, any followers of Hallister receive the same kind of frustration from it. Like, I'm just gonna be just as furious at them for following this asshole that blew up my entire city.
I've created a brand new religion.
Like,
And Hallister will just sort of at this point be like, "Aaron, you didn't want that zombie, did you? I think it would be much better served with my new acolyte."
you know what? Sure.
Congratulations, Ben. You have a Hallister zombie.
Yeah! I have a Hallister zombie! I also have Hallister's left hand. Left hand? Right hand? Left
Left.
hand. Last one. Hallister.
I seriously can't believe you just did this.
Oh fuck, I can't believe he's done this.
I don't think any of us can believe he did it.
No.
Yeah, neither can I. That's why I'm trying to process just like,
It's
how the fuck would Tess
How
actually
would you
react?
react? Like, Aaron is like furious and on the verge of just attacking.
Do I
But,
have
like-
any way that I can communicate with Tess? Not
Walk
to the
into
rest
the
of
next
the party.
room.
Yeah, okay. I am going to say to Tess, a word. And I'm gonna DM Brandon.
Yes, I will also need to see what you're doing.
yeah.
So just make a DM group with us three.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I was about to put it in the Starfinder, and then I realized that Chris is also there. That would backfire.
Chris is still in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
This
How
is
do
an
I do that?
interesting
There.
session.
That'll fix it.
Oh, okay, that works.
That works.
I
Chris
literally.
left the Starfinder group.
Yeah, that works. I literally sort of like, I'm just gonna turn to like the others and be like, what the hell do you think about this?
I'm still in the other room with Tess. I'm not in that room.
Well,
I will just be staring.
Or like, you've just, like,
Wait.
you're a man of religion, you've just watched this man abandon his god.
I'm literally like I'm just like staring him down. I've got my warhammer in my hand as well.
Man, Ben's taking a long time to type.
1 second.
Please don't kill me! Please don't kill me! Please don't kill me! Please don't kill me!
I'm not gonna lie. That's probably where it's going. Real fucking compelling argument.
Yeah. Like, I
Please don't
honestly
make
don't know
me-
how Lizy would react to this either.
I hate to ask this, Ben, but how much health are you on?
Oh my god!
Yeah, honestly.
Oh. I'm on 21 HP. No, 30, because I was on 28 and I've got 30 because I had the heal, so I'm on 30 HP.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry about this, man.
So Ben, you wanted to play a new character?
I say this as a player. I am truly sorry for what is about to happen.
I mean, this might get Tess killed too.
Yeah.
Oh
She's not
my
concerned.
god! Tess, no!
God.
I hope. Zach, remember, you let this happen.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I let people's bad decisions happen.
Yeah, he lets us make the bad mistakes.
Wait, that's just D&D.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Ben,
Oh no!
how does it feel to be crit?
Oh no!
Oof.
What did you crit him with?
A firebolt.
Oh no! Tess, no!
That's 20 damage. and-
No!
Yeah, so yeah, Ben, you might as well say what you done now, because now it's just going to be out in the open for this.
Okay, so just say what I DM'd.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I turned around and I took Tess to the side and I had said, Tess, I understand how you must feel. I know that Hallister's insane. I know that. But if we have any hope of getting through this dungeon alive, we need as much strength as we can get. We need to get you home.
Yeah. Tess just looks up to you. Just like, you can actually kind of see the tears in her eyes. And you see her gauntlet flare up. Not like that. And she just firebolts you in the face for 33 damage.
Oh my god. Just before that firebolt hits, Igor just says, I'm sorry. And then he gets blasted back.
You're not dead.
Oh, he's
I'm
down.
unconscious.
You're unconscious.
And I am currently at hit points. And unconscious.
So now I'm kind of like, I don't know what to do. If I kill him,
Yeah.
not only have I then killed him, but also, like, he will eternally be brought back to guard this dungeon.
Yep.
Or I
Yeah,
could just
no,
leave
like-
him, making him a potential threat later on if he ever does come back and find us.
Yeah, I know. There's no clean way out of this.
Like,
No, there's not, Ben.
regardless of what I do.
I'll be honest, I didn't expect Tess to turn around and firebolt me in the face. I'll be honest.
Because she legitimately sees you as a friend, and she doesn't want friend turn to darkness for her sake.
Yeah.
Because all Igor has to care about anymore, or the only two things he cared about anymore, were Bahamut and Tess. And now he doesn't care about Bahamut, so all he has left is Tess.
Upon,
Now Tess just fire blasted him in the face.
Yup.
upon hearing the firebolt, which I would have done, I would have
Yeah.
immediately come through to kind of see what's happened.
Do I? Because, like,
Yeah, and you'll just see Tess just standing over the unconscious form of her friend, like gauntlet still flared, just visibly crying.
Ah.
Alistair just sort of goes in as well, and he's like, well, I didn't see this coming. He was right, this is entertaining.
Damn it.
I'm gonna, like, walk up to Tess.
He's
That's
actually
the thing.
standing in the back
That's the thing.
going,
There's
"Hercules,
like,
Hercules."
yeah, that's the thing. Like, Rob, you were concerned about the ramifications. Killing him from Hallister. Hallister actually doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I know. I know. I look at Tess and I'm like, do you want me to finish him?
Oh my god.
Not the character I expected to lose this session.
I know,
I
right?
feel just look between the two of them and be like, you two shouldn't have to do that. You've lost enough.
No.
And then she's gonna
No.
prepare to cast Moonbeam centered on Barter.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Igra's
How
body.
quickly the turn.
Call in the airstrike on these coordinates.
You obviously can't say anything, but you do realize that it doesn't mean that see, now I'm getting confused because Igor's gonna die. You do realize that it doesn't mean Igor's evil.
Well,
Yeah,
no.
but Igra's
But we're
now
not-
partnered with the person. That's the reason that we're all in here.
Yep.
Yeah. No. We don't
The
like the
fact that nobody
No.
can see through my intention implies that this is purely a bid for power so that I can get Tess home.
Yeah. No. But that's the thing. Like,
I
see,
don't know you well enough for that.
And here's the thing. Like, Tess probably understands that, but she sure as hell doesn't agree with it.
It's just like,
and
Yeah.
and just like and she feels like even if it were to work and get her home, she would feel personally ashamed that the fact that she let you basically push herself towards the darkness for that.
it's just like even the
You were the
Golgari
chosen
don't
one.
go that far. Like,
And
even most
as you're
Golgari
preparing
don't
your
do that.
moonbeam, Hallister will be like, wait, I don't want you all killing my new acolyte just yet. Listen. Tess, I know you're mad because he was trying to spin it to you that he did this to get you home. That's obviously not true. He just wants to worship the highest power,
Well,
and he sees that as me. So don't blame yourself, Tess.
I glare at him some more because that's what Aaron's good at doing.
Oh yeah, no. I'm still casting
Cool.
Moonbeam.
Can actually, before you even get the chance, can Hauser make a quick persuasion check?
Okay, I need to check Hallister's stats, but that's high.
Cool, I rolled a 4, I fail.
Yeah, you definitely fail against the 22.
Yeah. Immediate firebolt. Another immediate firebolt into him.
Oh my god.
That's one failed death save.
Ah!
I mean, if I crit, it's technically 2.
Yes,
Nope, it's not a crit.
but you get advantage.
Straight. He's
Yeah,
prone.
because he's...
Prone
If I,
and
I mean,
unconscious.
but I'm shooting a firebolt at him at point blank range, so.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
okay.
cancel out.
Yeah. So that's one failed death save.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I never. You know, I didn't think this was how Igor was gonna die.
You know,
I
when
genuinely
you're
thought I'd be able to.
In the
didn't
D&D
think-
campaign, you don't side with the big bad evil guy in front of the fucking party.
Well, I'd like to point out that in Igor's eyes, he didn't side with him.
Yeah, no, but that.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
no.
that's the thing. That's certainly how.
That's
in
how
your
it looks
eyes,
to everyone else.
Yes, and everyone else is pissed and is gonna take turns hitting your corpse until you're dead.
Hallister will, after you shoot another firebolt, just say, listen, we get him up, give him one last chance to explain himself. If you aren't happy with it, I'll destroy him myself. And congratulations, Spin, you are now awake with 1 hit point.
Oh my god. Igor kind of comes to, and he kind of like gets him on one. He's like, "Oh, I deserve that."
You're right.
And he's gonna kind of.
No, before you even get another word out, Tess is like, "You're right, you did."
Fireball.
Igor's not. You're right, you did. Bang.
Bring it back again.
Yep. Now,
Do
Ben,
this all day.
these next words you say might determine if your character lives or... But it seems like your character's likely not gonna live.
I am going to turn to Tess, and I'm only addressing Tess at the moment. And I'm gonna first I'm gonna say to Tess, I should have put more thought into how you would feel about it. We need strength to get through this dungeon. If my methods give me a second.
Like I said,
Give me
you're
a
gonna have to be
second. I
real
need to be
fucking-
careful with this. He will say, This is really annoying that Hallister is here.
It wouldn't matter if Hallister was here or not. He has his eyes open.
Yeah,
that's
he
true.
knows exactly what you're saying at all times now.
Fine, then Igor will just say, this doesn't mean I'm on Hallister's side. It doesn't mean that I'm allied with him. See, this is, in Igor's head, this is why he specifically worded it that he's putting his faith in Hallister's power and not in Hallister as a person.
Oh, that's still not great.
And Igra turns and says he has undeniable power that can help us be strong and get through this dungeon. It doesn't mean that I am allies with that power. And it might not sound great, and I know how against siding with dark forces you are, but I'm not siding with the dark force. I'm siding with its... No, I'm not going to say siding. I'm not siding with the dark force. I'm just gaining assistance for the sake of a lifelong friend. And then I'm going to turn to the rest of the party, apart from Aaron. And I'm going to say, Lightsy, Lucan. Well, I'm going to say Lightsy, Lucan. I understandably, you'll probably be angry as well that none of these decisions are meant to bring you, this party, or the goals that you have set out any harm. In fact, I've done everything I've done today with the intention of furthering us into this dungeon and getting out alive. There's not... God damn it, Tractor.
It's true though. Like...
And then he's gonna say, everything I've done has been with the intention. Every action I've taken in this dungeon has been with the intention of making sure that we get out of this alive. And then I'm going to turn to Daner, and I'm going to say, I know that you've only just joined us, and that you don't know me well enough, but I would ask that you put enough trust in me to believe that I would never do anything that would intentionally befall pain, bereavement, or hinder this party. And then I'm going to turn to Aaron and say, fuck you.
Well, you definitely convinced me. I know what my plan of action is.
Stare at you for a few moments and then be like, no, let me tell you what you've just done. You've made the most powerful being on this plane even more powerful. You gave them a way that they're already watching us and hearing us even more than they already are, even when we're not in this godforsaken place. That is what you've just done.
And then Igra is going to drop his final reveal, and Igra is going to say, I never intended on leaving this dungeon alive.
I mean, that's likely to happen.
Yeah.
He said, I never intended on leaving this dungeon alive. I wanted to get to the end. I wanted to get my friend home. But then, what purpose would I have served? Nothing. After that, I am nothing.
And literally, I'd be like... my initial gut response was... good, because that's not gonna happen.
Igra is going to continue, and he's going to say, you say you act as if making him a god has made any slight difference. His power was already immeasurable. His control over this sanctum was already more than we could have imagined. And I think you all underestimate how much he knows about us, how much he can see of us, and just the exact control he has over us in this dungeon. If I could get each and every one of you out of this dungeon alive, then I would have been...
Yeah, Hallister just sort of pipes up. Yeah, I don't need the eyes to see you all.
We're aware.
Hallister. That is Hallister laughing.
Notice I said outside of the dungeon as well, because he hadn't said the part that he didn't plan on leaving.
And that's why he specified and dropped that, and specified that within this dungeon, it wouldn't have mattered because he's all-powerful dungeon. So why not? Why not have the all-powerful being that controls the dungeon have its only follower be in the dungeon, and then have that follower die at the end of the dungeon? He doesn't say that out loud, but that was Igra's intention.
Because he doesn't care about you anyway. That should be obvious.
What if Hallister tells you to do something that you don't want to do? What if he tells you to do something that would harm the party? If you follow him, you would surely have to do what he says, or else
Well,
he would just
Alistair
literally...
just sort of pipes up, I'm not gonna give him any orders. He said he would entertain me. I wouldn't be entertained if I know what he's doing.
Igra is going to turn to Aaron and actually address Aaron and say, believe it or not, Aaron, I'm not a complete fool. This decision wasn't made on whim. It was something that I've considered. It's something that I only considered after sufficient interaction with Alistair himself.
Sufficient interaction.
Alistair just sort of points at you. Man, you're making a bad argument.
Yeah, no, now your argument's actually falling apart.
Yes, it is.
Because
yeah, you-
I've had
that's
significantly
and now
more
it's
interaction
slowly-
with Alistair than you have.
Yeah, but Igra is going to then turn around and say, all I needed to know was how he would act as a god. All I needed to know was that he was fickle enough, that he was flippant enough, not to care what I did, as long as he knew that whatever I did would be entertaining. And I knew that he would find the actions I took entertaining in his eyes, and that's all I needed to know.
How do you plan on keeping him entertained going forwards?
What better place to entertain the Mad Mage than within his own dungeon?
Do you not feel like that maybe you were already doing that? Like, why go to these lengths?
Because unless you haven't noticed, the second one of us goes running off, we all nearly die. And if
Okay, that makes him kind of...
Ooh, he's talking
then-
about me there. Ooh.
and then he's gonna turn and say, next time it could be you, next time it could be Tess. Who knows where we would end up if we don't have enough strength?
You should seek strength within yourself and not within others.
I've spent my entire life following a god that is arrogant enough to believe they're all powerful, only to have been defeated single-handedly. I may be able to find strength within myself, but I'm also not stupid. I'm not a god. I don't have the strength of a god.
And what tells you that you need the power of a god to become stronger? Why do you need to rely on some other being to become strong?
You've really hit a nerve with Aaron there.
Oh,
Cool, gives me time to think.
yeah. This is actually a really difficult question for Igra, because Igra was already questioning his faith.
Exactly.
Igra is going to
And the thing is that Aaron's gone through all this shit already.
Yeah.
Igra is going to turn and say, I wouldn't expect you to understand what it was like to have been taken in by the surroundings I was taken in by. I wouldn't expect you to understand, to have had the upbringing that I've had. But I'll tell you this, that once you find people you care about, you'll do anything and everything you can to make sure that their needs, their wants, and everything that they could possibly imagine are met.
Listen, I understand to some degree the things that you've been through. I was raised and forced into doing a certain way of life. I objected. I fought against it. I found strength within myself to be able to not have to go down that path that was laid out before me. I found my own path. That is what I genuinely believe every person should be able to do.
And look where it got you.
Turn around, walk off.
You
When
mentioned...
when it comes to strength, it's undeniable that a person can grow, and it's undeniable that a person within themselves can become strong. But there's a different level of power and a different level of strength at play here. This isn't outside, this isn't Waterdeep. This isn't out on the battlefield fighting against Tiamat's stupid followers. This is in the dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Ben, but I think you failed to convince Tess.
Yeah.
And guess who you have your back to?
I've not done talking to Tess.
I know, but
Aaron.
that's the thing. That's the thing. Like she's been listening to you, and you
Here's the
said,
thing. You may not be done
exactly
talking to
the wrong
Yeah.
thing.
You may not be done talking to Tess, but Tess is done talking to you at this point, I think.
Igra is going to turn to Tess, and he's going to say, I know you don't like it. Sometimes you have to do things and you have to accept things that you don't like and that are going to be awful if it means that you get to survive. All I'm trying to do is make sure that you get to live the life that you deserve to live.
You're right. You're right. You're right about one thing. We do have to do things we don't have to do.
Oh.
Firebolts you again.
No!
I'm glad that he
Oh,
thought of
that's
like
it.
the same line I did there.
Yep. So that's a 16 on the die. So I don't even need to ask what your armor is.
Oh.
That would be 23 damage.
Yeah, funnily enough, being at 1 hit point, that's put me unconscious.
Yeah.
I'm just rolling for posterity, because you
Yep.
know, if I crit and I somehow do enough damage, to
It would
you,
actually have
again,
killed you.
Yeah. And Hallister just sort of looks at Tess. Well, I assume that means he didn't convince you.
No.
Ah, shame. I would have liked another acolyte. Oh well. I said he would wander these halls guarding this dungeon forever. I never said he would keep his soul in this body while doing it. And he points to
The zombie.
Igra, and Igra becomes a zombie, yes.
Oh my god.
Also, Lizzie noticed something. He said another acolyte.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that word choice would also actually like shut Tess enough just so another acolyte.
Oh, please, you think that he was the first person to try to worship me? No. He was the first person to convince me to become a god, though. Well, first person in my memory, at least. I have a very loose memory.
So he could have been a god for centuries and not even know.
Very
Hallister?
possible that's why there was no big flash, big bang, or big moment of him becoming a god.
He already was.
He's already a god.
Alistair, I believe you've done enough damage for one day. Can you please leave us in peace?
Oh, please, you can't blame me for any of this. This was all his doing.
I mean,
Yeah.
Hallister's not wrong.
Just please, give us some time to think.
You can think all you want.
I'm sad that I
But you
didn't
know
get
what I find helps people think? Soup.
Oh my god.
Knives come out of nowhere.
Full circle!
hot water all over us.
And he's just like, I just came up with a new recipe I think you would really enjoy. Well, that depends. How many of you enjoy rotten flesh?
Hallister, please, just leave us alone.
What happens to the zombie that I was controlling?
That's a good question. We've
Something
accidentally
passed from
created a horde of zombies on this floor. Like, it's actually just gonna grow and get worse. Like, the next people to come in here are gonna be like, why are there so many zombies on this floor?
Well, you see, it's basically the chain of command here. Hallister has control over you, and you have control over this guy. So ultimately, Hallister has the most control. Especially since zombies don't have their own sense of free will. But you know.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, Ben might as well start rolling stats.
Yep.
I genuinely didn't have another character prepared.
God dang it, Ben. Here's
I
me,
didn't
like...
think Tess was gonna fucking off me!
How? You sided with the big bad.
I didn't side with the big bad. I was trying to use his power so that we could get through alive.
You realize he could, if he wanted us dead at that point, he could just shut your power off.
The thing is, I really wanted to finish Ben off in the most ironic way possible by literally snapping my fingers, summoning the spear that he took off me back to my hand, and just running him through with it.
So it's technically attuned to you still.
Yep.
I mean, that would have been a great.
I really wanted to do that, but I let Tess kind of do it. I was like, no.
Yeah, I feel like the Tess death was a lot more powerful.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah, it was.
meta-wise and story-wise, it made the most sense. For,
That's why I held shut. But I thought about it. Oh my god.
Like I said, Ben, as a player, I'm actually really sorry, but
Yeah, I am. I
I
genuinely
could not-
am, because I'm like,
Yeah.
this...
we're both genuinely sorry, but we could not think of any reason for our characters to. One, even if they decided to let you live, they probably had little reason to trust you at that point.
Like, to want you around, even, kind of thing. And at that point, it's just
Like-
dangerous to let you live. So, like...
So, Ben, remember how we joked last session that this party
character
isn't
per
allowed
floor.
to have 2 religious people?
There can only be one!
Oh my god.
So
Don't make anyone religious.
apparently,
So,
yeah,
time
so
to bring my
apparently-
next cleric.
This is no longer D&D. This is now a game of religion roulette. That is now officially.
I'd like to
God.
point out that now, technically speaking, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, like what, 4, 5 religions at this point?
I mean, yeah, because Yaz was a devout believer of Aristray, so.
Oh, even more, because we had, I mean, technically we had Bahamut twice, but we had we had the cleric and the paladin of Bahamut. We've had Talos. Yeah, we had Talos. We had Tempest. We had Yaz's god. We've now technically had Hallister.
Oh my god.
So,
I'm honestly sure if that's maybe just what we should just.
yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. This is what we're calling it for today. Because
I-
A, D&D Beyond is still being screwy,
Yeah.
and B, where else would we go?
Yeah,
I
we're-
don't know where to go from this. This has been nuts. Like,
Hi. We came into this session like, Aaron.
Aaron's
be
gonna
gone,
die.
get your character."
somehow managed to convince you all that I was honestly, genuinely sorry for what I did.
And the only person you didn't really convince ended up dying.
Dead. So actually, I'm good now.
Well,
I told you it was risky.
yeah.
Oh my
But then
God.
that's how I like to play. I like to play
We
risky
know this.
Yes.
because
D&D roulette.
because it makes for great moments like this.
This was nuts. I can't believe you did
So,
this.
greatest moment so far. Someone jumping out a window
Mm-hmm.
and dying.
Yes.
Someone
Door-to-door
getting
salesman.
disintegrated in a really cool way.
Door salesman.
Door-to-door salesman. Someone attuning to a heart and then just dying. And then someone siding with the mad mage and then get killed by
Killed
the
by the
party.
party.
Didn't side by the man.
The thing is, right, obviously this was mostly like
kinda
me.
did.
This was mostly me and Brandon reacting to this kind of thing. I'm curious, Daynor, once again, a fellow religious person, how would he react to the fact that this person had basically just abandoned their god in front of him and sided with someone who wasn't a god and made himself a god?
And wasn't Tempest.
And wasn't Tempest, wasn't your god. Yeah.
Oh, he may have.
Beginning
Like,
to think Igor should
I think
walk
even
to
if me and Tess had been convinced and forgiven you, I have a feeling Daynor would have still tried to run you through.
Oh, I can't run him through with a warhammer. I would have probably tried to stave his skull in.
Yeah. Like, I have a feeling even if you'd convinced us, the fact that you did this in front of a devout follower of a religion, like, he has zero respect for you anymore. You're a deserter. Like...
How did you think your character would get out of this alive, then?
I genuinely thought people would see the bid for the party's survival and just see
They
it
did
as,
see that.
They
Yes!
did.
and see it as Igra genuinely trying to do everything he could to make sure nobody else died.
Oh no.
Igra just changed subclasses twice this session.
Oh my god.
Oh, what a gone show of a session this was.
Yeah.
I thought Ben couldn't have a character death that lived up to Martavir's.
I genuinely
wait.
believed that people
Please.
would see what I was
Please.
trying to do.
Can we have another character who knows Igra now?
I'm just gonna chain them.
So here's the thing. Like, you might have been able to swing it until you started going about how the power of people can't live up to that sort of thing, and that, oh lordy, does that go against like higher is it philosophy?
Yeah, I was gonna say, that goes
yeah.
against
Your
everything, is
wits-
it?
Your wits and ingenuity can stand up to anything.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the reason Igra was like that was, and I actually rolled for this. I rolled to see whether or not, see when Aaron was like, oh, blah blah blah, strength within yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
I rolled to see if he would go with that and that would make him have a change of heart, or whether he would end up doubling down because of the relentless religious drilling he'd had his whole life.
Yeah.
And I rolled for it, and
So
he
basically,
doubled
no
down.
matter what, your character was screwed at that point. Because if you decided, you know what, you're right, I'm not gonna worship Alistair.
Alistair would have
I also would have killed you.
Yeah, no.
Oh, he would have done much worse.
No, so, yeah.
You ended up, you had a better fate this way, just becoming a zombie.
Yeah, no. Honestly, your character was in a bit of a catch-22, and this was sadly the better way for him to go
Yeah.
out.
I genuinely believed that the party would be like, oh, that was really dumb, but at least he had the right intentions, and at least we have a potentially powerful ally. We could make it. dungeon now.
No,
No,
you don't
like I said.
side with the big bad ever.
Like
If you'd done it in secret, right? If you'd done it in secret and then kind of like not had it
Yeah.
visible on you that you'd done it,
Oh, that's a
you
fair
could have got
point,
away with
actually.
it, but you did it
Yeah,
in
no.
front of us all.
Can I go back?
nope, you must live with your dumbass decisions.
I should have been like, hey, house, when Pocket dimensioned it.
If I'm not allowed to live down.
Oh my god. Right. Let's wrap this up, shall we? If you've enjoyed this train wreck, give us a follow. Join the Discord. You'll know when I'm going live in the future. D&D is on every Sunday, as long as we can all make it. I'm currently doing Zelda streams on every Saturday, like progressively going through
And you're
the whole timeline with my buddy
you're-
Zach.
And
you're originally
somehow,
doing Pokemon streams.
Yep.
somehow, even though Rob's controlling Skyward Sword in hero mode without the life medallion, it's still less of a train wreck than this session was.
It's true. It's true. Like I say, so you can do that, and Pokemon.
The next Zelda stream.
Ben, you can't campaign for justice for Igor.
Pokemon Shield is my main game
to
that
help
I'm doing
everyone.
during the week, so look out for some streams of that too. With that all said, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next stream. See you later.
Bye-bye.